Green Lantern War Journal, issue 10, Philip Kennedy Johnson with Montos on the art. Yeah, I mean, in the first couple pages here, it's Lantern Shepherds fighting a bunch of the, what did we decide to call
Spectrum.
it? The
We're
Spectrum
gonna call them
Lanterns.
Spectrum
Yeah, that's what
Lanterns.
we're calling
Yeah.
them. So they're all different colors. So there's this big full page spread of him flying. He's really small in the panel, but the rest of the page is basically all the constructs from these other lanterns that are fighting him. And it's like basically various spaceships and stuff like that. But there's a pink one, there's a yellow one, a couple of green ones, a red one.
Orangish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a really colorful, fun page. And then you've got just the art of like John like trying to get through the barrier and of the Dark
Yep.
Star. And then I was a little conflicted at first because obviously it's like it goes into his head or he's in like a different dimension or something.
Yep.
Because when he tries to leave, he ends up in this other place. But that's all great. The art with his mom being attacked by what's his face, with the Radiant Dead stuff, like that 2-page layout where it's like it's pretending it's made a construct of her dead husband, and like his like sort of Phantom Lantern style like colored face is coming in from the side of the page, and the sort of like monstrous tongues coming out of his mouth. That art is gorgeous. Like it's it's a proper horror movie style moment. It's just so good. And he's taunting her, saying, "Yeah, I took the face of your dead husband, and like I'm coming after you," and all that, and all the purple hues and all the rest of it. Oh, it's gorgeous. They are here. Like I mean, I enjoyed the issue, the story of the issue as well, but the art was like just putting me over the moon with this one.
And then keeping going in that sequence, right? When Steele and Tasha show up and the colors kind of shift because it's breaking through that purple, that Phantom Lantern color. And then when Ellie shows up and it injects the green into there too, it's just, man, it is, all these pages are a sight to behold.
Yeah, because it's like it's all just blues and purples and stuff and violets, and then when they break through the barrier, you see red and yellow for the first time in several pages, and it feels like really stark. And then, like you said, the green. There's been nothing like green for the past like 4, 5, 6 pages at that point. So the Ellie construct coming in full Green Lantern mode to like sort of pick her up and rescue her. Yeah, this sequence was just beautiful from start to finish.
And it was properly scary as well because it starts with her sitting on the bed and then that thread popping up, right? And then she starts pulling it and that's where he gets in, and it's all very creepy. And then it builds to that, like you were talking, the monstrous look on her dead husband's face, with the tongue and the teeth and everything. Very, very good creepy stuff.
Yeah, no, excellent. So the John stuff though, it's basically well, obviously he ends up kind of confronting Olgren, but it's not, it's kind of just a representation of Olgren rather than Olgren himself. At least that's what he says anyway.
I feel this is the personification of Olgren's will. That's what they keep talking about, which makes sense. This is a Green Lantern book at the end of the day. And we're going to be dealing with willpower, but I do like the way that Johnson's telling the story here, where it's like John's taken the role of Olgren, but so we see John, but then there's an outline of what I would assume Olgren would look like, right? So it's almost as if he's acting out all of this in this area that he fought through to get to.
Yeah, it feels like there's like a sort of barrier between like where he is and the outside of like in space and time, and he's in this like this barrier, and it's like messing with his head and stuff. So presumably he's going to fight his way out of it. But we only have 2 issues left, so we'll see where everything goes. The final, or I don't know if it's the final scene, but the next scene is Shepard's been defeated by all these Spectrum Lanterns, and then we see a green box go around him, and you hear the voice coming from off page saying, "Hey, I'll take this one. You guys stay here and protect the barrier because no one can get away from Earth. And Earth's full of superheroes and stuff, so you need to stay here. I'll take him back to Oa for processing." And of course, I think it's pretty obvious to anyone reading this that this is going to be a good guy. This is going to be someone who's going to actually like take him somewhere else. And of course, the ending is that it's Guy Gardner, and he's like, "Let's go get John Stewart." So I'm sure you popped for your
I did. The big
Guy.
Stupid smile on Guy's face because it's Shepard's looking at him upside down. So when we get that and Guy's carrying him in that box with the chain, and he's just got a big dumb smile on his face, like, okay, return to this form of Guy Gardner. I'm good. For a hot second I thought it would be Jess because we know that she's doing that undercover stuff in Adams. So I thought, maybe this is how they'll cross them over a little bit. But I'm so happy with Guy because this is who Shepard was talking to, right?
Yeah, they set this up. They set Guy up for this book, so it made some sense that it was him. Yes. I too thought it could be Jess for a second because we know she's undercover, but clearly Guy's still on good terms, at least publicly, with the United Planets.
Which I do like too, that in some of the runs is they make that Guy and John, because they're such an odd couple, they are kind of closer than Kyle and John or Kyle and Guy. So him showing up too, I do appreciate that relationship.
Yeah. I had a good time with this. It feels like it is kind of barreling towards a big conclusion. And I'm curious to see kind of like just how, because it feels like all this Revenant Dead stuff is somewhat connected to Olgrin, which is interesting because Olgrin isn't from the other world, right? It's from our dimension.
He's the first god, but from the first, he's not the first god. He's from the first world, right? Yeah. Which, if you're looking at the Jack Kirby stuff, Darkseid and Orion and all that stuff, that's the fourth world. So he predates all of that. But there's a thing that he says here where he says that, once I'm free and whole, he says the great works are yet before us when I'm free and whole. And he's calling him builder and all of this stuff. So yes. I'm wondering if the the Radiant Dead came from that other realm, and that's where John's the master builder. I wonder if he has mastered Olgrin's actual will and the Revenant Dead stuff based off of everything that we had. This is why it's drawn to him, right? Because in another dimension, he's fully mastered it. And this wants to get back and partner back up with the Olgrin essence. Because I do feel like Johnson is seeding this Olgrin stuff through all these other books, right? Because we have, Olgrin's Fire in Action Comics?
Yeah.
So, and now we have Olgrin's Will and all this other stuff, and it's speaking directly to John. But yeah, no, this solid stuff. And again, happy to see Guy towards the end. But yeah, with 2 issues left, it makes me wonder how much story we have left to fit in to make everything clear.
I don't feel like this will be the end of all the Olgrin stuff. This book, it feels like at least there'll be one more book where there'll be. If we've got, it feels weird to only have 2, like Olgrin's Will and Olgrin's Fire. It feels like there should be one more, and that would be like the end of the big epic story that Johnson's been kind of telling through the book. So, be curious to see if he gets a new book, whether it's another mini or another ongoing like action down the line.
Yeah. And also we know that Byla, right, because it's the little girl that takes the essence that is talking to John in the beginning, she calls him Uncle Byla, that he's around in this realm that John came out of, that he flew into. So it makes you wonder how much the first world is still around. Because my understanding of all that stuff was like Darkseid is always preoccupied with Earth because it's prophesized that Earth will become the 5th world and supplant them. But it always makes me wonder how much of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd worlds are still around in the DC universe. So it's cool to see Johnson playing with all of this. Because Byla's still clearly much around because he was on Warworld, right? And now we have another version of him here. So it makes you wonder.
Yeah. Is it a different version though? Or did he somehow end up here?
It was Byla Vel and Byla, I think this one's Byla Vox, something along those lines.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah, so that's how I took it. Maybe they're two parts of the same essence, kind of like Olgrin's Fire, Olgrin's Will. Who knows? Hopefully we get some clarity down the line, but I'm still enjoying it. I kind of love a little bit of fantasy injected into the sci-fi. It makes for a fun read.
Yeah, all right. What are you rating Green Lantern Wardrobe?
I'm going to give this a solid 8.
Yeah, I'm taking it 8 out of 10 as well. I agree with that.